Now honestly, I didn't expect this card. Future Stars Roberto Carlos has just dropped randomly as an SBC. He has 60 days to get him done. You obviously can get a loan version of him, but I can tell you right now, you don't need that. He is incredible. He's got himself the Deadball, the Relentless. It's a big upgrade from his base, and I do think in terms of left back standards, one of the best icons we've got out here. Obviously, in terms of other playstyles, rapid, quick step, Travella, he's got the business. He's obviously got the free kicks as well, which is always perfect. Great shot power and long shot. And to be honest, even the defensive attributes, 87, 88, really isn't that bad. Anchor, whatever you want to go with, to be honest. Now, in terms of how expensive he is, that's going to be the big question because I haven't looked yet. I just saw him pop out. We are looking at a 1.6 mil on the transfer market, and this SBC at the moment is coming in at 1.88 mil. We've got the bronze and silver. We've then got the 83 rated team for his loan. Give him a try out if you really wanted to. We then have a Real Madrid team of the week 85, Brazilian 86, team of the week 86, team of the week 87 twice, 3 times, 88, 88, 88, 89, 89, and a 90. I mean, not the worst in the world. Very expensive still to get done, but 60 days is going to take us to the 16th of May. Pretty much, I would say, we've got to be in team of the season by then. So it does mean we should have a lot of players to be playing with and putting in as fodder at the minimum. Because realistically, the hardest thing for this is going to be them 3 top squads. The 289s and the 90 are the tricky ones. They may not be unbeatable, but they are tricky to say some extent. The 88s, I think now are becoming more plausible with the fact we've got so many promo cards. It's absolutely crazy, especially ones that are really packable as well. If it was to kind of look through what I've got, I have given up quite a few, but like Seedorf I could give up now, Edison I could give up, Bernardo Silva, Alex Morgan, Politano, Medina. You obviously have got a decent amount coming from SBC fodder, just generic team of the week, team fodder. So the lower players that are not going to get into your main, but realistically you've just got them because you've packed them quite easily. Milinkovic, Savic, a Griezmann from a campaign, and that is going to be the big question. Can you do him for literally no value? Because when it comes to all these upgraded players, it's a hard one to say if they're worth doing or not. I do think if you are struggling for a left back, Roberto Carlos will solve all of your issues. I'm not saying that he now is 100% go and do him right now if you've already got a left back, because whereas like Cafu, when he first came out, there was no right backs. There was very little. Like, yes, you had a Frimpong at like 700k. His team of the year eventually came out. Everybody was rocking the Lorente Centurions evolutions, including myself. So there was kind of a massive need for a left back. When it comes to Roberto Carlos, you could play Rolfo there if you really wanted to. I do think she's better at centre mid. You've had Havertz, you've had Baka, you've had Lodi, you've got an Ashley Cole you've had. There is a lot of left backs that you could have gone with, and that's not just any of the SBCs, because we had Ndogi there as well. There is a lot of different left backs you could choose with, and they're just ones that I've done, to be honest. They're not even every single one of them, because we've got Bernardo Silva can play there. Who else have we actually got? Ndogi, Gossens obviously is a new player. Olga's been there, Merlin, Pickett was an objective, John Arise. Capdevia, no love. Really surprised on that one. So there is a solid amount of left back options that you could have gone with by now. If you are still not deterred and you really want to get this guy in your club, then I'm going to be showing you the best ways to get it grinded out. Because it is possible. It's 60 days. You've got a lot of time to get this done. There is no point busting a board to try and get this done straight away today, because you're going to end up using so much fodder, and by the looks of Ultimate Birthday, they are absolutely here with a bang. Socrates, obviously Coman, multiple upgrades, crafting guides. There's a lot to process, let alone that we still have got the Encore icon upgrade for the next day as well. So, where do we start? We start with the Ultimate Daily Login. That is going to be the easiest one to grind out because it is just one bronze card. You want to be doing this every single day you possibly can. From the Daily Login to the Daily Completionist to everything. Everything daily, get it done instantly. Then we obviously have the Daily Gold, Bronze and Silvers. I would highly recommend these. They take you about 5 minutes, 10 minutes at best. Obviously with the Bronze and Silvers, it is just one player. there, come in, whip bang, wallop, done. It's a nice and easy one. You only have to do it twice, but it's going to give you the cards to get into the daily goals, and you can just keep grinding round. So simple to do. I know it's boring, you don't want to sit there and put 2 teams in, but when it comes to the gold one, just go ahead and just make a squad. There is very little reason to have any silvers in your team now, especially with all of the upgrades they're giving us and the exchange on top of that. There's no point really even doing the premium gold, not the premium gold, the Prime League SBC, or the Premium League SBC in fact, because realistically, if your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders. You don't need it now, really. It's not one where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm missing out on this. Yes, it's great extra fodder if you want to, but it doesn't require many silvers, if any, anyway. So I just whack a full load in. That's one done. I'd just do that as many times as you can every single day, because it's just, it's so worth doing. You get 11 golds, because what you want to do from there, with the upgrade that we got today in the ultimate crafting upgrade, that is going to be a perfect one to grind out as well, because we have it for 150 times. Obviously, we are going to get multiple objectives from this as well. So obviously, as you can see, we've got another daily login. We're going to whack in that one. That's 80 times 5. Not bad at all. Then we obviously have got the crafting one. We have all of these packs and players that are going to be well worth putting in, because you've got an 88 Alaba, 87, 87, 89, all could go into the upgrade, all could go into Roberto Carlos's SBCs. Adds extra fodder to them. You throw in then the daily completionist stuff, Falcao, you throw in then the daily login. It's just all grinding in there to be done for literally nothing. Obviously then when it comes to the exchange, because this is the big part for everybody, and I think it's the one part that everybody either gets confused on or just goes trigger happy with. It's all about the duplicates. Yes, you can go and whack some 89s in. I wouldn't recommend going and just blowing loads of 89s in right now, unless you are willing to pay for them. I was looking for Bastoni, because even though, yes, the 89s are going to be well worth the 51 players, you don't want to be giving up all your 89s when you've got 2 89s and a 90 SBC to complete, if you know what I mean. You don't want to be going through that straight away. That is why it's very, very important to get as many of them 90 and 89s done as quick as possible, because all I'll do then is just work down from the list, and then 89s can go in. If I can do the 88s, you go then down, you can go to the 87s, so they can all go into them. Like, I've got all of these here just waiting to open, because I'm going to grind through them. So obviously when it comes to the 80 times 5, it's the daily gold for today. If you manage to get a FUT birthday, everything is going towards the player. That is how you attack these SBCs, is by focusing on them, because the moment that you don't, that is when it just gets a little bit more tricky, and you kind of got a lot of upgrades here, there and everywhere, and you end up not being able to do anybody. So I normally kind of tick them off with like a check sheet. If we have got a lot as well, I'm not going to sit here and say we've got little SBCs. There's some big SBCs from Ginola, Socrates. If you wanted to do Felix or Depay, they're there. You've got some smaller ones obviously as well. I don't know if there's any other big SBCs. I kind of want to do Rasmus still. Ginola's obviously there, but then you've got Socrates, Baggio, you've got Yashin. If you really wanted to do Torres, Jarzinho is obviously a big one as well, but it all depends on what you're kind of focusing on for your club. So I would always recommend straight away trying to do the top ones. As hard as they can be, they are going to make life a lot easier. If you obviously get a duplicate and you can only do an 85, do the 85. Don't put 88s in it, but do the 85. Get it done, get it out the way. You don't want to be wasting duplicates. If you aren't ready for the upgrade, that is when the exchange comes in. So if you've got, for instance, a duplicate 89, but you don't want to give it up into an 88 rated squad, but you're not quite ready for the 89, then you use the upgrade. Because what you do from there, you take that 51 players and then you'd whack them back into the upgrades. So to start with, if you are grinding out the crafting upgrade, definitely do that. You'll get more objectives done with them, and there's got 150 times to do. We then either have the 80 triple, or we can go the 80 player pick. Now, in terms of that, I'd probably go towards more the 80 triple, purely on the triple factor. If it was double, I might use the pick, but the 80 triple is going to be a decent one. The only thing with that is you might get a few duplicates if your club's not completely down to the ground. So I would recommend definitely kind of doing them one at a time possible if you don't want to end up having to buy players. Let alone that, then we have the 82 times 20. This is kind of for your 84s, your 85s, once you don't need them for Roberto Carlos. Same for the team of the weeks. We're going to need quite a few from them 87s. And then obviously they can be used in these upgrades, because these are going to be perfect to potentially get us higher rated fodder for the 90, for the 89, the 88s, because they are going to be utilizing cards that we don't need. We don't need any 84s, so if we get a duplicate, that is the best place for them to go. It is just a constant cycle of just going from exchange duplicates into then upgrades, into then more upgrades, then back round into Roberto Carlos when you're ready. That is the whole point of the grind. May not be quick. I'm not sitting here and saying I could do the exchange grind and get him done in a day easily from nothing, because it's definitely not like that. But over time, you'll get him done marginally and really effortlessly for very little coins. And that, for me, is the big factor of doing these SBCs for the little value. I want to be able to try and get this done without really spending a penny, and maybe not necessarily hurting the fodder rate that much. So I think that is kind of going to be the best ways to grind them out. It shouldn't take too long in terms of setting it up, then making sure the daily golds and daily upgrades are being done every single time. We also do have the challenges of the Flash SBC. I know that's going every 2 hours or 3 hours, so make sure you are doing that. Rare Electrum every single hour, and then obviously the marquee match, which UEFA is just a standard. So let me know down below, does Roberto Carlos get into your team? I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.